Greetings and welcome to Pinball Help. Mike here. Today I am working on this Stern NBA. This is a pretty obscure game, and I've had it on location for quite a while, and then it just started blowing fuses, and I put it away for a while. I finally got around to messing with it, and let me show you what happened and how I diagnosed it. So basically there was a fuse that kept blowing, one of the high power fuses. There's at least two of them, maybe more, that handle different batches of the high power coils, and they kept blowing. Now I've got a little breaker thing in here when I'm testing it, but that's not something you would normally want to run in here. It's a special tool that you can make where you take a fuse and you glue it to one of these things or solder it to it. But anyway, it kept blowing, and I got in the manual and I found out what the coil banks were. You can see here's one coil bank, here's another coil bank, here's another coil bank. When this fuse was blown, it was all of these things: the through kicker, the auto plunger, the basketball magnet, the left eject, the right diverter, and that's not the one that was giving me problems. It was which one was it? Shaker motor. No, it was this one up the top. Three bank drop target. So I knew there was something wrong with one of these coils. So the key is you pull the playfield up, and the first thing you want to look for is whether or not any of the wires are broken, or you notice anything unusual. You can see there's some broken plastic there. This thing's a bit dirty, but the first thing you want to check is for the obvious: broken wires shorted, things touching each other. In this case, what I found was the coil that kicks these drop targets up was melted. It was fused shut and the thing wouldn't work. So I knew the coil. I put a resistor. I checked the resistance on it. It was 0.4 ohms. So the coil was bad. Whenever that happens, the best thing you want to do is kind of look on here on the driver board, go to the manual and find out which driver transistor runs that particular coil. In this case, this was like coil number 7, and it was Q7 over here. So I first went over here and I took a good look at Q7 to see if there was any noticeable problem with it, and there didn't appear to be any kind of sign that the thing is blown. Now, it's very unusual for a coil to just short like that. Usually something causes it, like some kind of a mechanical thing where a wire is touching or something, or the transistors fail. In this case, I replaced the coil and everything is working fine, but that's not usually the case. In this case, it actually did work, but I'm still going to keep an eye on all the under playfield wiring to see if there's anything loose, that something might have touched against that one thing and caused it to melt. Sometimes they fail, but I gotta say, in my experience, very rarely have I seen a coil melt, but in this case, this one did. Let's go take a look at it. All right, here's my filthy bench. Here is a coil in question. No diode, a 25240, meaning it's 25 gauge wire, 1240 windings. And as you can see, if you look inside of it, you can see it's melted. You can see on the outside it's crispy. I don't know what happened. Maybe it just failed, but it definitely burned up and it melted. What's interesting is it melted without the coil plunger being stuck inside of it, which led me to believe that was something kind of odd. So it could have been a failure of the coil. I don't usually see stuff like this, but in this case, this is what the situation was. So it's always a good idea, keep an eye on things. And luckily I had an extra coil on hand, so I was able to replace it. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and for more, visit pinballhelp.com, and I appreciate you subscribing.